Good day, everybody. This is Michael Levitis from juristq.com, and I'm here with immigration attorney, our regular guest, explaining FAQs on immigration law. I welcome you back, Yakov Spektor of the
Hi,
law
Michael.
firm
Good to be back.
of Spektor, and Berman. We love picking your brain. You know immigration law well. You do it every day, day in, day out. Had so many cases, different experiences, but sometimes you gotta go back to the basics and answer some basic questions. And I saw that this month, a trending topic on Google regarding immigration law is people are asking, immigration law, is it purely federal or does it have any state aspects to it as well? And is there any correlation between, any overlap between federal and state laws when it comes to immigration? What do you say?
That's a great question. I just wonder, is it really something that people are interested in? It seems like so dry and boring, even though the answer might surprise a lot of you, because
software does not lie. We have special software that lets us analyze monthly on every practice area. What are people asking out there? And this month, this is it.
Okay, well, if people want to know, so I mean, the question seems a little boring even to me, but I'll actually the answer is I'll try to make it less boring. Okay, and it's something that might actually affect you because, as you know, immigration law is indeed federal law. Okay, but each one of you probably lives in a state. Okay, unless you are from Washington D.C., in which case you might not, right? But for most of our viewers, this is going to be you will live in a particular state, and so if you're applying for any immigration benefit, for whether it's a green card or a work permit or citizenship, first of all, the good news is that your eligibility to get that, okay, that's purely federal, okay, which means that it's governed by federal immigration laws, regulations, rules that government agencies kind of set for themselves, and they, might change from one president to another. It's a lot. That's why basically, I still have a job, because it's a very convoluted area of law. So whether you get that green card or that citizenship really only depends on the federal laws. Okay, but whether there's going to be something that might prevent you from getting it could depend on your history with the state.
Interesting. Okay.
And
you mean like criminal history?
Criminal history is the most obvious example. Absolutely. If you have a criminal conviction, okay, that might either prevent you from getting citizenship, could prevent you from getting a green card, or potentially could even prompt the government to send your case over to immigration court to see if they could deport you. Okay, so that's super important. And what's funny is that different states, right, might have different laws written regarding the criminal convictions that could be treated differently under immigration law. Okay, so this is how you might be convicted for the same about the same thing in one state. That might prompt the government to try and deport you, or you might be convicted for essentially the same offense in another state, and yet it would not. It would kind of fall under the government's radar, so to speak. Now, that's a very big one. You know if you have a criminal conviction, or even if you were arrested and you don't have a conviction. Okay, that's definitely something to bring up to your lawyer. Definitely, 100%. Now, another thing is that could be purely on the federal level. Okay, if you lose your case and you have to file an appeal, okay, because the appellate courts, the circuits, okay, they divide our country in basically geographical chunks. Okay, and those appellate courts, they issue decisions, and they're not bound by the decision, let's say from another circuit. Okay, so you could have a situation where on essentially the same facts, an appellate court in one circuit could make a decision that's completely different from an appellate court in another circuit, and then there will be a conflict, and then the case will go to the Supreme Court, assuming that the lawyers will have the capacity to do so. So assuming the case might go to the appellate courts. No, I'm sorry. The case might go to the Supreme Court, so that that conflict between the decisions could be resolved. So on that level, it does matter where you live, simply because those courts might have different rules. So essentially, those are your two big ones. Okay, so if you have a criminal record, talk to your lawyer. Okay, or if it's something that could potentially result in your case, if you have a very particular situation, okay, and that could actually result in the denial just based on the decisions in your in the circuit where you live, that could be a problem. But that's something for your lawyer to decide.
Understood. Okay, very good. Thank you for all that encompassing material, for an answer that's both educational and interesting and relevant. Like you said, sometimes the law could be a little dry, but we try to make it applicable and make it come to life. So the bottom line is, mostly, as I understand, immigration law is federal, but there are some state implications. So it's very important to speak to an attorney and see how state law could possibly hinder you in getting your papers, or hinder you in getting some benefits. So on that note, Yakov, thank you so much for your answers, for your time. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And we're going to come back in our next session, and we're going to talk about another very practical issue. Can your immigration attorney speed up the process? That's another question that is on people's minds.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Whether there's anything an attorney can do to speed up such a lengthy process of getting your legal status. Please stay tuned. If you have any questions meanwhile, call the number on the bottom of the screen and ask for Yakov Spektor, a premier immigration attorney. Thank you. Until next time.